Shalom. I want to start by giving all praise to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Wa'aroka Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching us the scriptures, among other things, and salutation to Yakim across the earth for doing this work in sincerity and in truth. So with that, I'm going to say Shalom. So you see this article here, and the title already reads, UK government to cut 200,000 jobs. And this is a thing that's happening everywhere, people being fired, companies going out of business. A lot of bakeries here in Holland already stopped. They quit because they couldn't pay the energy bill. So there's a lot of stuff going on. And don't forget, UK also deals with the Brexit. So there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. It's like, yeah. The British government can no longer avoid cutting 200,000 civil servants. Only in this way can his already accumulated debt of billions be limited, according to the Institute for Fiscal Studies. Finance Minister Kwasi Kwarteng has been criticized for his September 2023 tax plan to offer the wealthy British a 45 billion tax rebate. The move would cause the UK's national debt to rise sharply. The Institute for Fiscal Studies predicts that the announced 5% rise in civil servants' wages this year, which would have been only partly budgeted, will further put pressure on government spending. It would require immediate savings of 5.6 billion pounds, equivalent to the loss of 200,000 jobs. The minister will provide more details on his plan to restore British purchasing power on November 23, despite calls from British MPs for earlier insight. The Bank of England intervened last week with bond purchases after a sharp fall in government bond prices, also to stem the fall of the British pound. And this is funny. Don't forget, so they're talking about all this debt and all these things again, but don't forget they stole a lot of gold from Venezuela and they still have it. I'm going to see in a minute if I can find something about it. Five pension funds would be brought to the brink of collapse without the intervention. The 65 billion pound bailout led to one of the biggest stock market declines in London since World War II, too. Kwarteng dismissed the panic as a bit of turbulence. British Prime Minister Liz Truss and Kwarteng claimed that the downturn in UK stock markets recently was part of a global decline, but the British Central Bank on Friday pointed to the financial policy of Truss and Kwarteng in an unusual reaction as the cause. In a letter to the Parliament Financial Affairs Committee, Deputy Governor John Conliver said the BOE had no choice but to intervene. This prevent fund managers from dumping 50 billion pounds in bonds and causing a market crash. When bonds prices collapsed, funds had to raise money to meet the demand for collateral. And Prime Minister Liz Truss blamed global factors as part of broader market developments. So anyway, it's a great story, but the point is, it's about to go down. Let me see if I can find something concerning. Wait, that. What's the name again of the thing? Uh, gold, gold, England. Let me see. So there was also already a year ago. This is the latest news, I think. Let's see if I check this. Fucking cookies always, man. Sick and tired of this shit. Sick and tired. Put this in the English. Venezuela leader Nicolas Maduro banned from using gold stored in England. That's also crazy, no? So he was also banned from using the gold. And why is it in England? The regime in the Latin America country Venezuela cannot use the gold reserves it had stored at the Bank of England, the British central bank that has been decided by the Supreme Court in the United Kingdom. The court relies on the fact that the radical left ruler Nicolas Maduro is not recognized by the British government, but his conservative rival Juan Guaido is. Yeah, they tried to play a coup with that dude, but yeah, they fail. It concerns just over 1.72 billion euros that the Central Bank of Venezuela had stored with the Bank of England. Okay, listen to this. 1.72 billion, not million, no, billion euros that the Bank of Venezuela had stored with the Bank of England. Venezuela President Nicolas Maduro wanted the access to that money, in his own words, to fight the corona crisis in his country. The opposition in Venezuela saw it differently. They accusing Maduro of passing the gold mainly to the allies who support his regime, especially Russia and China. The British Supreme Court has now tied the knot in a legal battle between radical left-wing regime of Maduro and his main rival, conservative MP Juan Guaido, who declared himself interim president in early 2019. A lower court had previously ruled that Maduro is not entitled to Venezuela's gold reserves, but that had been overturned on appeal. The Supreme Court has now overturned that ruler. The court relies on the fact that the British government recognized Guaido and not Maduro as president of Venezuela. Guaido does not yet have immediate access to Venezuela gold reserves. A commercial court has yet to rule whether Guaido can now access the gold reserves. But where's Guaido now? Who's the chief? The ruling is a setback for Maduro's regime. He de facto still controls the country, the military and most institutions, but internationally about 50 countries recognize his rival Juan Guaido. This recognizes rival Juan Guaido. This usually concerns Western countries such as the United States, the United Kingdom and Spain, the European Parliament and Australia, but also other large countries in the region such as Canada, Brazil, Colombia, Chile and Argentina, Russia, China, Turkey, Iran, Bolivia, Nicaragua and Cuba recognize Maduro. Yeah. The reason is the very controversial 2018 elections that were officially won by Maduro, but according to the opposition were fraudulent. Since then, opposition leader and parliamentary speaker Guaido has declared himself interim president and has thus been able to persuade dozens of countries to recognize him. In his own country, however, Guaido does not have that much power, partly because the law and enforcement and army still rally behind Maduro and his regime is still firmly in control. Firmly in control. However, in addition to the deep political crisis, Venezuela is also being hit by a huge socio-economic crisis, and now the Rona crisis has been added. Thousands of Venezuelans have fled to neighboring countries, and there seems to be no prospect of compromise or solution. So the point is that the UK, so they're talking about all this poverty and shit, and the same is here for Holland and other countries here in Europe. These people, these Edomites over here, they've been robbing all over the world. So they got a lot of possessions that don't belong to them from other countries and stuff, you know. And it is don't it's not a small number. It's 1.72 billion euros. So that's a lot. So anyway, like I was reading earlier, so 200,000 jobs need to be are about to vanish basically in the UK. And these are just small things, but there's a lot of stuff coming, you know. This is the book of Second Esdras, chapter 9 and 1. He answered me then and said, measure out the time diligently in itself. And how do you measure the time? By seeing the events that are going on in the world, by watching the news and filter it to the scriptures. By seeing all these things going on, we realize that the end is very close. We realize that the end is very close. It's very plain to see. Let me see. This is the book of Romans, chapter 11, verse 13. Slaki, chapter 13, verse 11. And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is all salvation nearer than we believe. We are very close to the end. So this is the time to come back to Yahweh Basham Yahushai. This is the time. Because when you're too late, it's too late. It's like in the days of Noah, when the doors are about to, when the doors are closing, when the door is closed, it's done. You're gonna die with this world. You're gonna die with the sodomites. You're gonna die with the pedophiles. You're gonna die with the niggers. Because that's what it is. So back to the book of Second Esdras, chapter 9 and 1. He answered me then and said, measure out the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Yeah. Those, you know, Yahuratasa, we are part of that number. Yahuratasa, you know, we are the watchmen. We see what's going on. We prepare ourselves. Hunger, famine is around the corner. One of the brothers showed us yesterday after camp. He showed us clips of stuff of places that, you know, a famine, how they make a famine. One of the largest locations where they process food in France, or the biggest location, is on fire. So they're burning all these things down. They're busy here with the farmers. They've been busy since the beginning in the 90s. They were busy with the farmers. They're still busy with them. So they're playing with your food. Before you know it, it's gonna be done. Look, man, when they blocked when the farmers went against protesting against the nitrogen rules and stuff. So one day they blocked the distribution center for the supermarkets, and they already had in a couple of hours empty shelves. So yeah, don't think when nothing is coming in that you're gonna have a couple days to do your groceries. You know, it's gonna be done, man. On that same day, people are gonna go crazy, because don't forget, for a lot of people it's gonna be a surprise. Yahweh, we are not in darkness. And I said that, are we prepared for Yahushai to come back? Salakia. Throat is messed up. So yeah. So the book of Second Esdras, chapter 9 and 2. Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Yeah, by seeing all these things going on. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Yeah. All these things being, I said that, are prophesied, you know. And let me check something out real quick. Let me see. Yeah. So a lot of stuff going on, man. So people losing jobs and stuff. So this is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12. I'm just going to start from verse 1. Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. So, while you see all these things going on, this is the time to come back to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Because there's still a chance. But there's going to be a time, there's going to be a day that there is no chance for you to come back to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. They're going to realize that you're simple just too late. Yeah, that's just what's going to be, you know. Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not dark. Yeah, because what does the Bible say? The day of the Lord is going to be very dark, with no light in there. So before Yahushua comes back, this is the time to make amends. You know, come back to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, the economic, economy, you know. Yeah, so this whole thing is crashing down, and so of course Israel's also doing it, but it's all to the will of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. You know, his system shall crash. And he got a plan, you know, the MOTB, and he's gonna get a lot of people, but he ain't gonna fulfill it. Let me see. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong man shall bow himself, and the grinders cease, because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. And looking out of the windows, it goes back to looking into the future. And the future is going to be darkened. For all your heathens, it's going to be darkened. And for a lot of Jacob descendants also. Still busy being the nigger and shit, you know. So yeah, I think I'm going to leave it like that. So yeah, 200,000 jobs are about to get lost in the UK. And it's probably, it won't be long while you're going to see all these things going on all around the world. So yeah, with that, I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Wa'aruka Kodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching us the scriptures, among other things, and salutations to Yakim across the earth for doing this work in sincerity and in truth. So with that, I'm going to say Shalom.